Warning: some viewers may find the following content highly disturbing and controversial. Viewer discretion is advised. As you can see, the polar bear has won the match over its food. This is actually the wild polar bear as we know it. This is definitely not the easiest way of life, but this is the life that the polar bears are given. Most polar bears are actually going extinct because of the amount of ice. They depend on the icebergs to be able to hunt their prey. And as we can see that this young polar bear has actually not humanely finished his prey or his meal, and had actually, pretty much euthanized it. The seal is still alive. So what this kind of teaches us is that the younger polar bears are still not being trained or having to leave their mother's side at a very early age, and the mothers are not teaching them enough skills, and they just don't have enough skills to actually make enough kills to kill. I mean, these are not trained and experienced polar bears as they were a couple 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago. Now they're having less chances of actually getting their prey and getting kills in on their food. So they've had less experience, and they're actually eating less. The polar bears are actually smaller than they've ever been, simply because the ice sheets are melting due to global warming. Now, the effects of this is actually what we're going to see is minimized population of polar bears, and this type of unexperienced killing of their food. So this video, I've actually slowed it down to the point where you could see the seal unknowingly. The polar bear had actually swam around this block of ice to go actually behind the seal. Now, as you see, the seal is unaware that there is a polar bear that's about to jump out. The polar bear actually knows that the seal's there and has been stalking it for quite some time. This polar bear is on his last meal. If he does not make this kill, he will die. And so desperation calls for desperate measures. He actually dives all the way in and actually tries to go after the seal. And I'll leave the rest of the points after that, but just to keep in mind that this polar bear was on its last meal, on its last leg, and used all of its last bit of resources and energy to capture that seal. They actually only get 1 in 20 kills out of all of their attempts. So they may attempt this very, feat, jumping in, using all their energy in sub-zero climate temperatures, and use all their energies 20 times, and they would only get 1 kill out of those 20 times. So it's getting less and less as the ice sheets and ice continues to melt, because the polar bears, as you can see here, depend on these ice blocks to be able to hunt their prey. Without that, pretty much they just don't eat, and they die. And so we're going to be losing a lot of polar bear populations. They're already on a very rare and almost extinct list, because a lot of people were hunting them before for their furs and skins and stuff like that, and now that has stopped completely. There's still some people out there that do hunt polar bears, but it's very highly illegal. But if this stuff doesn't stop, and this global warming doesn't change some way, somehow, I'm afraid we're going to lose all of our polar bears. extinct because of hunger, and they will continue to die. So this is definitely very important that they continue to eat and get their nutrition from these seals and walruses, of course. But they're having to take on bigger prey, um, and that's also risking their lives because they could become injured and die from the wounds that they receive. So making sure that they have ice and continue to be, we got to preserve these polar bears because they're endangered. They're highly endangered.